Many of us have younger siblings we're asked to look after every once in a while. Imagine that your mom asks you to take your brother shopping for clothes. You think he needs a little fashion help, so you agree. But when you get to the store, you see that new album you've been wanting to buy. You figure he'll be fine on his own for a few minutes, so you walk away from your sibling to grab the album. When you turn around, your brother's gone. You search the entire store, but he's nowhere to be found. What do you do now, and what could you have done to prevent a situation like this? Not many teenagers know how they would react or who they would call if they experienced a child abduction. It's hard to imagine a situation like the one I just described because the entertainment world often dramatizes child abductions, such as in the movie Taken. This movie thrives on the excitement factor to distract audiences from a few unlikely circumstances. A teenage girl takes a trip to Paris with a friend and ends up being abducted by Albanian sex traffickers. Her father, who happens to be specially trained, eventually finds and kills the gang, but for the average teenager, this circumstance remains difficult to relate to. Movies like this make abduction seem like something that only happens in faraway places. However, child abductions can happen to the average child, as shown in the film The Lovely Bones. In this film, a young girl named Susie is walking home from school when she comes across a friendly neighbor who tells her about a hideout he's been building for the neighborhood kids. With promises of fun games and lots of treats, the man lures Susie into a field behind her house and kills her. This movie is a far more realistic representation of how easily childhood abduction can occur. Although these prospects seem scary, kidnappings can be prevented by anyone using 3 simple steps: awareness, action, and attention. Using these 3 A's of abduction can help prevent the kidnapping of innocent children around the world. According to a report by the U.S. Department of Justice, an abduction can occur when a person is held against his or her will for a modest amount of time or moved even a short distance. The report defined 2 different types of abductions: family or non-family. Family abductions happen when a parent or guardian wants sole custody of a child and takes that child out of the current custody of the rightful guardian. Non-family abductions happen when the child is kidnapped by an acquaintance or a stranger. According to kidshealth.org, non-family abductions make up 25% of all kidnappings. The Department of Justice study reported that 58,200 children were abducted in 2002, the year the research was conducted. An estimated 115 of these were classified as stereotypical kidnappings, which are non-family abductions that involve the child being transported over 50 miles, held for ransom, or killed. 40% of these kidnappings ended in the death of the child. These atrocities will continue to happen if the awareness of child abductions is not increased. The causes of these abductions are not all known, but it can be assumed that if we, as college students, were more aware of the signs of child abduction, that number will be much lower. The first A of abduction is awareness. Always stay aware of your surroundings. Keep an eye on your siblings and other children that may be near you when in public. If a stranger keeps appearing near you or is asking an unusual amount of questions, do not interact with them, no matter how kind they may seem. If you notice something or someone suspicious, remove yourself from the situation as soon as possible. The second A of abduction is action. If you think you may be witnessing a child abduction, take action by reporting it to the police or other appropriate authorities. The Canadian Centre for Child Abduction claims it's not best to try to get directly involved with the situation. Instead, try distracting the child or the perpetrator, or preventing them from leaving the area. Stalling for even just a few minutes can help the police intervene as soon as they arrive. The third A of abduction is attention. After you have alerted the proper authorities, pay attention to the little details of the situation. Being able to identify the perpetrator, the child, and the characteristics of the abduction can aid the police in their search. However, the Canadian Centre for Child Abduction advises against sharing this information with anyone other than the police, especially the media. Even if you just want to help, sharing this information can be detrimental to the integrity of the case. These 3 steps are simple and easy to remember. It does not take much effort to memorize them, and if every one of us did, we can encourage those around us to do so as well, possibly decreasing the chances of perpetrators succeeding. The rate of child abductions is a matter of public safety that each and every one of us can have a hand in decreasing using the 3 A's of abduction: awareness, action, and attention. As I hope I have shown, child abduction is a severe issue that can happen to anyone, even children we know. We can reduce the amount of children kidnapped by using 3 simple steps: awareness, action, and attention. Next time you're out in public, remember to stay aware of your surroundings and use the 3 A's of abduction if you suspect a child kidnapping is happening.